Welcome to a new class of PowerPoint. In this class, we are going to learn everything starting from new slides and editing it, everything that you need to know about the clipboard. Well, if you have no idea about PowerPoint or less idea about PowerPoint, in this class, I'm going to show you everything that you need to know, and we're going to move on to them step by step. So there is no rush, and without any further ado, let's move on to our class by opening up PowerPoint on our device. As you can see on my screen, I have opened up. First thing, what I have to do is that when you open up the interface, this is what you're going to face. So click on anywhere where it is like written, click on to add slide. It's going to add a slide for you. And from the slide, you can see you have two of these boxes. Well, these are content boxes, which actually enables you or helps you to put in any data or any object inside of the slide. So what are these slides? So the pages which you basically use as single page or even a document, or what you call as a document page, is basically a slide in PowerPoint. So there are different types of slides which you'll be able to use. But one thing which you can see over here, this is the type of slide which you apply first or when you start off. Now, if you click on this button over here, or even press on Control and M on your keyboard, it's going to create a new slide for you to work on. So if I click on over here, now you can see that the format of the, let's say, editing boxes, add text, and title is different from the first one. So there are different types of slides which you'll be able to use. In this slide, you can see there are a couple of these icons which you will see on your screen too. Well, this enables you to put in any specific elements such as a stock, images over here, pictures, then we have icon, we also have smart art graphic, chart, table, video, and even 3D models. You'll be able to apply them directly just by clicking on these buttons. Well, we're going to go through that later on, but first off, let's finish our slides. So let's press on Control and M, and you can see we have another sliders. So another thing you can check over here is that our third slide, which we have over here, is basically similar to the second one, which we have over here. You'll be able to customize it whenever you want just by dragging it inside of the sliding box. So you can see this one is now number 2, this one is 3, but what if I want this one at the third one? I'll just drag this over the third, and you can see now this one is third and both of them are first and second. We'll be able to delete them anytime we want. Just right click on them and you have this option over here called delete slide. Click on that and that slide will be deleted from your platform. You can also press on delete and backspace on your keyboard to delete it anytime you want. So just in case I want to delete the first one, which is basically this one, and I will only want to keep this one. So if I click on this, you can see the outline, which it is being selected, and press on delete or backspace, it's going to delete it. There we go. So now you know about adding a new slide. Now, what if you want to make your own specific type of slides with your own specific type of content box? First thing what you have to do is click on this new slide button at the bottom. Click on that and you will have 9 types of slide, and each of them has its own specific name, such as this one is title slide, this one is title and content, this one is called section header, to content, comparison, title only, blank, like content with caption, and picture with caption. So you'll be able to use whichever one feels like it's suitable for you. So just in case, as an example, maybe I want comparison type of slide. So if I click on this, and you can see the boxes are already made, so it's going to save up a lot of time just adding it up and making it look organized. So these slides are basically used to save up a bit of time on your organization of data on your slides. So now we know about how we can add slides directly and also how we can add slide according to our need. Now, another thing what you can do over here is you can duplicate a slide. If you want to duplicate a slide, you can either click on these slides on the left side of your panel, right click on them, and you'll be able to duplicate it anytime you want. You can also go over here on new slides and you'll be able to duplicate selected slides. Now, the difference between two of these buttons is that when you duplicate a slide from here, it's going to duplicate only one. But what if I want to duplicate two of these? So just in case, if I put in GH, and over here, I'm going to put in JK, and on this one, I'm going to put in KL. So how will you be able to select slides? So just click on Shift on your keyboard and you'll be able to select all of them at once. But you will also be able to select your own selected ones, such as maybe I want only 1 and 3. So if you hold on Shift and click on 1 and then go off to 3 and select it, all of them will be selected. But that is not what you want. You want to select only the ones which you want to use. So maybe I want only 1 and 3. So hold on to Control on your keyboard, press on 1, press on 3, both of them has been selected, and you want to make a duplicate. Click on New Slides, click on Duplicate Selected Slides, both of them will be duplicated. Okay, so I'm going to delete both of these just in case. Now, what I can do is I can also make slides from outline. So if I click on Slides from Outline, you'll be able to select any outline from any specific PPTX file. Now, the next one which we have is Reuse Slides. If you want to reuse any specific slide, you can insert the slide from any specific part of the location of your drive, and you'll be able to reuse it anytime you want to. So this is basically very helpful in cases of, let's say, you made your own type of, let's say, slide, which has its own type of content boxes, title boxes, or even comparison, but you want to reuse it directly onto your platform or on your project. So you'll be able to reuse them just in those cases. Now, when you right click on them, you will also see delete slide and add a section. Now, there are also layouts, reset slides, format background. So let's move on them step by step. You'll be able to cut and copy a slide anytime you want to. Now you can see we have add selection or add section. Now, when you make a lot of these slides, now just in case maybe I want to make, let's say, these 3 into a category. So if I select all of these, right click on them, and if I press on add section, these 3 will be in a section. So another thing, what I want to name this, let's say blank. Rename, and there we go. This is called the blank section. And if I drag this out, I'm going to select only one, and I'm going to drag this out of this box. So now you can see now the section has changed. And you'll also be able to put it back in anytime you want, and it can organize your section. Now, what if I want to make these 2 into a separate section? So you can see this is already a default section. You will be able to extend it, and also you'll be able to hide it anytime you want to. You can also rename it anytime you want. Just click on that, right click, and you can rename that section. So just in case, maybe I want to name it 3 slides. Hit on rename, enter, and there we go. We have 3 slides. And we also have the default section, which is 1, which also contains 2, which is also visible over here. Now, another thing what we are going to know about the section is that you'll be able to delete the section too. If you want to delete the section, just right click on any of these sections and remove section. It will remove all the sections and it's going to conjoin them back together. You can also remove this section. You can remove all of the sections at once, and it can also remove selection and slides. So if I click on remove selection and slides, it's going to remove both. But what I want to do is I want to remove all sections, and you can see all of the sections which is on your PPTX file will all be removed. So this is how the sections actually work. Now there are layouts which you'll be able to see over here, which is basically the same as clicking on over here. And you can also reset the slide anytime you want to. So maybe in case I'm going to remove this or I'm going to destruct it just in case. And if I want to, let's say, reset the slide, I can click on that and it will just go back to how it was on default. And if I right click over here, we also have format background, which is basically going to allow you to format the background of your slide. So you will see on the right side, we have a whole different section, which is going to allow you to change the color, maybe apply a bit of gradient, picture, or if you want a pattern fill, or maybe a background graphic. You can also fix the transparency and also the color, all of them at once. But I'm not going to show that to you in this class. We're going to move on them step by step. So the next thing what you need to know about is the hide slide. You can also hide slide while you are in a presentation mode. So if I have this text over here, which is JK. So if I just go off to presentation mode, which you can also go from over here. If I just click on this, there we go. We have GH, JK, and then blank and all of them blank. So I'm going to go back into my working mode, which we have over here. Now, just in case maybe I want to hide this slide. So if I just hide the slide, this will be hidden. And if I just go off the presentation mode, now we will not find the slide which okay in it. Left side or the bottom slide, we have 1 of 5, 3 of 5, which is skipping 2, and then 4, and then 5. Okay? So now you know that you can also hide a slide anytime you want, and you will also be able to unhide it just by clicking on Hide Slide again. So basically, it's kind of like a toggle button to hide it and also unhide it anytime you want to. So let's remove these because we don't basically need them. There we go. So the next thing what we're going to learn is about the link to slide. So you can also add in a specific link, which is going to be from your cloud drive directly into your presentation. And you can also add a comment on your presentation so that whenever you are passing it off to someone else, someone actually gets the comment and then works according to it, or even gets a feedback about it. So we are basically done on these slides over here. So let's cut off this comment section. And then we also have this reset end section button over here, which is basically kind of the same. But another things which you can see over here is collapse all and expand all. So right here, I'm going to create a slide we have. And now what I want to do is if I click on section, I can also collapse all and also expand all. So if I click on collapse all, it's going to collapse all at once, just like this. And I can also expand all anytime I want to. So this is basically how the sections and the slides work. Now, the next thing what we're going to learn about is the clipboard. And the clipboard is basically the same on all applications. So I'm going to give you out a very, let's say, conclusive type of lesson on these. Okay, so first thing what I'm going to show you is about the copy. So you'll be able to copy any of your like data or maybe in even a photo, object, chart, table, whatever it is, you can copy it just by pressing on Control and C, and you'll be able to paste it just by pressing on Control and V. So you can see we have this over here, which is pasted right over here, but we have this button over here, which is Control. So this actually allows you to actually put your text how you want to. So there's this picture UI. You can also paste it as a picture. You can keep the text only. You can keep it as the formatting and also use the destination theme. So it's basically up to you. So just in case, maybe I'm going to customize it just a bit. So I have this and I'm also going to change this color into maybe red. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete it. And if I copy this, Control C, and if I paste it right over here, you can have the same thing. And you can also keep the same formatting. You can keep the picture and you can also keep the text only. So there are different types of pasting method which you'll be able to use in PowerPoint. So let's keep on moving. Now, the next thing is about cut. So what if I want to get this data directly into our next box? So basically just select up the data, which you can see over here, press on Control X, and then paste it right over here by pressing on Control and V. You can also use these buttons to paste over and over again if you want to. Okay, so I'm basically undoing these processes. So I also have a separate classes about only, let's say, selective type of shortcut keys which you will be able to use, and I also shown it to you shown a couple of them in my first class on the introduction of PowerPoint. So make sure to use that. It's going to save you up a lot of time, and just by keeping on using them, it's just going to make you a lot more efficient and a lot more familiar with the interface and the UI. So another thing, what we're going to know over here is that we already know about cut, copy, paste by now. So the next thing, we also have paste special. You can also paste in specific formats, just the way you want to, maybe a GIF, PNG. You'll be able to display data in a picture format, in an HTML format, however you want to. Just keep on using, let's say, PowerPoint and just fiddle through these options. You're going to learn that on your own. So the last thing, what I want to show you over here is that I'm going to cut this off, or I'm going to keep it just the way it is. And here I'm going to type in the quick brown. Okay, so I'm going to just keep this text over here. Now, if I just paste this data over here, and maybe I want the same type of formatting done on this text. So sometimes what happens is that you don't have, let's say, the time to customize it just the way you want to, just by copying up the format from the previous file. So what you basically have to do is that select up the file which has been formatted already. And after selecting up the data or the text, what you want to do is click on FormatPainter, and you will see that your cursor will turn into this type of brush over here. And you will also have the cursor, and then what you're going to do is select up the data what you want to customize now. And if you just let go, you can see whatever type of customization is done on the selected text is going to be applied on the text which you want to apply the same type of text on. Okay, so this is all you had to know about slides, editing or addition of slides, and also about clipboard. And if you click on this button over here, you will have a lot more, let's say a bigger platform to actually, click. You can have a couple of items and even a couple of files which you'll be able to drag from. And you will also be able to move on through the slides while working on with different projects at the same time. So thank you for watching this video up till the very end, and hope you understood about everything in this class. If you have any confusion or any question about any part of this lesson, feel free to ask me anytime. I'm always there to help you out. So without any further ado, let's move on to our next class of PowerPoint, where we are going to learn about this font section, paragraph, and also our drawing.